What's up, Freelance Nation? I don't know what you want me to call you. Freelancers, Project Freelancers. I don't know. Do you want a name? Probably not. But if you do, let me know down below. Let me know on Twitter or Instagram at @KInagonio. Hashtag Project Freelance when you ask me a question so I can find your question. Also, it's extremely hot while I'm recording this. My AC's off. It's like 90 degrees outside. And the sun is shining right on the window that is next to me. So it's extremely hot, so forgive me if this is a shorter episode. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring you season 3 of Project Freelance. Welcome to season 3. Welcome to season 3, where we still can't speak here on the podcast. How's it going, guys? I hope you're doing well. I'm your host, Inagonio. This is Project Freelance, your podcast for everything freelance related, whether you are in the film industry, photography, music, performing arts. If you like to make stuff with your hands, we have things for you to listen to. We being me, because I do everything with this podcast. I produce it. I write the blog posts every week. I get all the guests, I get all the sponsorships, I get everything down below if you guys need any hookups with like Adobe products, or if you need help tracking your mileage or budgeting, or, there's a lot of creative and adult related things down there. Go check them out. If you guys want to check out my cinematics, check out No Tracers on YouTube. It's my new show. It's mostly me exploring abandoned places. So if you're into that, if you're into like the whole rooftopping, free running movement, definitely head over to that YouTube channel. Check it out. And I wanted to get you guys to give me your input. Let me know what you think of the podcast. Give it a rating. Give it some stars. Tell me what you think about it. And let me know who you guys want to be on this podcast. One other thing that's really, really important that I want to let you guys know is that I am now doing Skype lessons. You can go to my website, knagoniophotography.com/booking. And if you would like to get a one-on-one Skype session with me, if you need advice on music or photography or video or just business in general, how to start becoming a freelancer, how to start your own whatever it is, creative thing, let me help you out. That's why I'm here. And that is also a really cool way to get yourself on the podcast. So this is what's up. So I actually just did the first Skype lesson with a guy from Paris, you guys. And I'm going to give that episode to you guys next week because I want you to be involved in this. I think it's super cool that I've been able to build a platform where you guys feel comfortable enough and you trust me enough and my advice enough to ask me questions and come to me with those questions and ask for my advice, because you could ask anybody and I am extremely honored and flattered. So thank you guys. If you want to jump on a Skype lesson / jump on the podcast, head over to my website. The links are down below. And wherever you are listening to this from, iTunes, SoundCloud, Spotify. It's not on Spotify. I'm working on it. I don't know how to get it to like register as a podcast. It's just registering as music, but I want it to be in the podcast section. So if anybody knows how to do that, I don't really want to pay for another thing like Anchor, but let me know what you guys think if I should do Anchor. I just want to get this shit on Spotify. You know what I'm saying? Because we need to have more listeners, and I get paid for the streams on Spotify. I don't get paid for them on this podcast thing. It's kind of weird. But I get paid for all the affiliate links down below. That's tight. But so I just want to tell you guys a little bit about what I want to do for season 3. First of all, season 2, I hope you guys liked it. If you didn't, well, you're probably not listening to the podcast or you're new, but go back and listen to the previous seasons. Thank you guys. Last season, it was a lot of musicians. You guys, we had Maddie Mullins on the podcast. You guys, we had Josh Balls on the podcast. We had John Syverson. We had John Wolf. We had so many people on the podcast. We had Matt Yanni. We had so many people. We had Christina Rotondo. We had so many people on the podcast. I am so grateful for all of them. I am so lucky to call them all my friends. And I am very grateful to each and every one of them for taking their time to be on this podcast, because it is helping me grow a community. So thank you guys for being on the podcast. And lastly, I want to know where you guys are listening from. If you want to let me know on Twitter or Instagram, like I said earlier, at @KAnagonio. I would love to know where you are listening from. And again, use hashtag Project Freelance. So on this season, I have a couple of creators that make things with their hands. And one of those gentlemen is Butch Loxon from LA. He is otherwise known as the Skeleton of Color. He is a performing artist that wears these beautiful, colorful skull masks, and he performs for, artists like Fall Out Boy. He works at festivals. He performs in other countries for events. He does parties. He does all kinds of stuff. And this guy didn't have anything when he started. He just wanted to make a really cool mask, and he did. And then it just kind of became his life. So Butch is going to be on an episode. I hope you guys tune in to hear that. I also have my homie Jared on the podcast. Jared makes rings. I know. You've always wanted to know, how does somebody make rings? Why do people make rings? Well, Jared's going to let you know, guys. If you need a ring, go to Jared. Legitimately. The guy, it's not just rings, you guys. The guy makes rings, and he inlays guitar strings in the rings. That's his thing. You guys got to check out that podcast if you're into cool stuff like that. You guys, you're going to love it. You're going to love that episode. It's super fascinating. I didn't know anything about using a lathe until I talked to Jared. He's also really into firearms. So if you're into firearms, I also have more music-related people. Basically, this season is just going to be me throwing a bunch of stuff at you, because I want to know what you guys want, and I want to get you involved in this season, which is why I want to have you guys on the podcast. So basically, I am just recording our Skype sessions, obviously with your approval, and those are going to turn into episodes that you can listen to forever. You can share with your friends, and other people that listen to the podcast can get insight from each other, and you guys can link up through social media, because all of your social media is going to be down below, so you can follow all these people. You guys can link up, collaborate, get together, do whatever. And for example, that first Skype session, I'm going to be in Paris in a couple months, and so I'm going to be hanging out with him. So maybe we'll do a video together when I'm there. That'd be tight. That's kind of the plan. We'll see. Also, I wanted to let you guys know that my band, Chasing Satellites, which is really just a solo project, it's just me, for now, but I just released an album called Split. It is a 6-track EP if you want to check it out. I'm singing and screaming in it. If you're into that kind of thing, check it out. There's also a little bit of rapping in it. I have a featured rapper. You got to do it every now and then. Trust me, it's not as weird as you think. He's like a hardcore rapper, so don't worry, it's okay. But yeah, that's out. If you guys want to pick up a physical copy or some merchandise, you can go to chasingsatellitesmusic.bandcamp.com. Otherwise, you can stream it on all streaming platforms, all of them. You guys realize this episode is just me letting you guys know the things that I'm working on and the things that you have coming to you. So sorry, there's no guests on this episode, so if you want to listen to my guests instead of me, you're going to have to come back next week, unfortunately. So sorry about it, but don't worry, there will be an episode next week, and you're not going to want to miss it. So come back for that, subscribe, so you get the notifications, or turn on the notifications if that's how it works now. I don't know. I'm going to wrap this episode up because it is hot as hell in this house right now, and I actually have to go record another podcast. So I will talk to you guys later. Thank you for tuning into Project Freelance. Go create something, capture every moment, and I will see you guys on the streets.